All right, good afternoon. Good to be with you. Exciting time, ready to go up to Seattle. Good football team, good special teams unit, and it'll be a challenge for us. But our group's ready. We're excited to go, and with that, we'll answer any questions you guys have.
Coach, you haven't seen too much, I assume it's mostly vanilla what you saw in the kickoff return stuff. But now, just because of the Friday game, is it a little bit of help to see four teams that are going to do it for a reason?
Yeah, I think you venture into a little bit more of the unknown, right? There was an unknown when we went into preseason game number one, and now that the regular season has started, it'll be interesting to see, especially tonight, Baltimore, Kansas City, get a couple data points, see what they do, and then, Green Bay and Philadelphia. So I still think at the end of the day, this comes down to, are you able to beat blocks? Are you able to tackle? Are you able to block their people? And so we're just hoping to get some opportunities. Marvin's done a great job. We're really excited to let him loose.
This season opener, tough game on the road. Is this the sort of game where you talk to your guys about, hey, if we can make a big play, we could potentially swing things?
Yeah, I think when you go out on the road like that, anything that you can do to steal the momentum back to your side of the ledger is important. Whether that's a long punt, a good coverage where you flip the field, maybe it's a big kick, maybe it's a block, whatever that might be. So our guys have worked hard. I'm excited to watch the group go out there and watch the work pay off because they've been working really hard and they're excited. So I'm fired up to watch them go on Sunday.
As the season went on last year, teams started consciously punting away from Marvin Mims Jr., giving him fewer opportunities. Are there things you can do to try to counter that to increase the?
Yeah, there's a couple tactics and schemes that you can end up doing to hope that they deliver the ball to him. We want to get the ball in his hands. There's no doubt about that. Obviously, really excited about him having the opportunity to build on what he did last year, and he's looked phenomenal here in the training camp. So there's a couple things that we would end up doing there. Their punter's a good player, Pro Bowl guy a handful of years ago. So just like I mentioned, they've got a good group, and it starts and stops with the specialists, and Dixon does a very good job.
In terms of the internal evaluation, when you obviously want the ball in Marvin's hands, but how much do you regard that as a win when you force a team to almost kind of punt scared, almost not scared of Marvin?
Yeah, that would be a good thing, right? So at the end of the day, we want to take the ball over in the best field position that we can, and so if we can force a errant punt, either through a rush or a scheme where the net on their punt is very low, we would want that. So at the end of the day, when they're delivering the ball to us in the punt game, we want to take the ball over in the most advantageous position, and if it is a poor punt, we would take that, or it's one of the long return that Marvin had last year because he had a bunch of them.
Coach, when you go on the road, how do you determine Wil Lutz's field goal range at road spot?
Yeah, so we look at that in the pregame, but that's constant. A lot of times people say, hey, this is what the line is, but we know throughout the course of a 3-hour game, the conditions change, whether it be, the wind or whatever. So those conditions, so we get a good gauge early, through our pregame workout. And then we're always in constant communication, myself to Wil, and then myself to coach as far as, hey, this is where we're at, whether we're in range to execute that play.
Wil's your special teams captain this year. In what ways does his leadership kind of manifest through the?
Yeah, well deserved. Riley was the captain last year, and then Wil is the captain this year, and I just think that speaks volumes to both of those players. There's a lot of honors out there that you get. I would suggest to you that being named captain by your peers is one of the the coolest honors that you can end up getting. So I'm just happy for him, and excited to see him go not only this week but the rest of the year.